Everyone, we're back. So our cake batter is almost done. Now it would be the point where you sift in the dry ingredients from earlier, as I mentioned in the correction video. But now we're not going to be sifting that in. Normally to do that, you'd sift in your dry ingredients and then mix together for 30 seconds, and then scrape down the side of the bowl of the dry ingredients, and then mix for another 30 seconds to ensure that the batter is smooth. But what we have here is a nice, beautiful, and smooth batter. So I'm going to take this little extra spoon and then scrape down the sides of the stand mixer in order to make sure we get all the cakey goodness, the different cakey goodness, into the stand mixer bowl. I haven't given up hope with this batter yet. I hope you don't either. You don't have to be crazy about scraping down the sides of the bowl, but you want to make sure you get all the cake goodness. So. Now that our cake batter is pretty much done, I'll just show it to the camera for everyone. Look at the cake batter, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth and fluffy and wonderful. So now we're just going to take everything out of our spoon. And grab a nice paper towel to put our spoon down. So now what you want to do is you want to spray and wipe a loaf pan with non-stick spray and then line it with parchment paper. So these have been greased already those have been greased already, but now we just need our parchment paper. They've been greased with non-stick spray. Just grab some parchment paper. You want to be really generous with it. If you find that you've done way too much like I have, that's okay. You can just rip it in half. These are two 9x5 loaf inch pans that we're using. Mine is my batter is the far right, or the batter to the far right here. So, and the end of the loaf pan is going to go half of our cake batter. So I'm going to put roughly half the cake batter in. And you want to make sure that gets spread nice and around. So we can come back to the turn of our handy dandy spoon and just make sure the cake batter is spread all around. The words that you're not going to like at the end of this mixture are going to be homogeneous, whisk till homogeneous, stand mixer, and spoon. Oh, and scrape down the bottom of the bowl as well. You're not going to like that either. Make sure it's all spread nice and evenly. Maybe just a touch more. I say that's good as is. Then we're going to put in a third of our streusel. Pressing that gently into the batter and getting a rubber spatula to move the streusel away from the edges. This is our streusel consistency right here, nice and crumbly. My sister's is a little more buttery, so you can do it either way. Both should work out. You really want to avoid the streusels getting into the edges, but you also want to ensure that you have streusel everywhere. So I prioritize getting streusel everywhere. Yeah, that's about half of our streusel. You can do a third or a half. I made a little edit and did a half here. Now you want to take a rubber spatula. I'm just gonna use our spoon to scrape the streusel away from the edges. We want our middle to be nice and streusely, not our edges. But you do want to get streusel everywhere, as I said. So again, don't be OCD about it. But you can you just spread away from everywhere. Now we're going to put in the rest of the batter. Whoop, that's not the batter, that's the streusel. This is the batter. The rest of it goes in. This batter is fluffier than when I normally make it. We're going to see how that affects the rising. Sorry, this is just being a bit gloopy. Again, you don't have to be overly cautious about getting everything in, but you want to get everything as much as possible in. There we go. Then we're going to pour in the rest of our streusel. You don't have to be, you don't have to put in all the streusel, but you just have to put in as much as you want. I'm just going to put as much as we've got, because it's really good streusel and I don't want to waste any of it. Wonderful. Now just flip it away from the edges while ensuring that our cake is nice and streusely. Then we're going to place this in our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, along with my other baking tray, for 50 to 60 minutes, and then we'll test it with a cake tester or toothpick to make sure it's done. You'll be able to know when the cake is done when you stick a toothpick into the cake and nothing comes out with it. That's when you know it'll be done. And then when it's done, you can test. You can drop the cake. You can put the cake in powdered sugar. You gotta make sure you always have oven mitts. And in this goes for an hour. It smells wonderful. So I had a great time making this coffee cake. We're gonna see how it tastes in 50 to 60 minutes. But again, I had a great time making the coffee cake. I really hope this comes out well. I'm sorry for any confusion that may have come about because of my mistake earlier. And I hope this comes out well. I hope you have a good time making this too. Thank you.